You know what, buddy?
What?
You are my idol.
You're my Canadian hero. You always have been.
If that's the case, you're my American idol.
Well, you're my Canadian hero. There's no question about it, my friend.
I'm Darryl Choronzey, and really we are doing something entirely different today. I'm fishing with my good buddy Dan Gapen, probably the best known river fisherman anywhere in North America.
I'm supposed
A legend in your own mind or my mind?
in your mind right now.
But anyways, we're up north of Ignace, Ontario.
Ignace, Ontario, in the black spruce forest, black water, black trees, use black bait.
What are we gonna catch? Walleye like this?
Walleyes like that with black backs.
And some big pike.
And some big pike, hopefully.
Stay with us because this is gonna be quite a show.
I'm going fishing all the time, and my baby's going fishing too. Bet your life that your sweet wife can catch more fish than you. Any fish will bite if you got the right bait. Now here's a little something that I'd like to relate. With my pole and my line, I'm going fishing. Yes, I'm going fishing. My baby's going fishing too.
Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey is brought to you in part by Yamaha, Abu Garcia, Montana's Cookhouse, and Berkeley. Closed captioning for Going Fishing is brought to you by Rapala, the makers of Canada's favorite fillet knives. Far up in the northwest corner of the province of Ontario, at the junction of the Trans-Canada Highway and Highway 599, is the town of Ignace. Here's a community that's supported by forestry and tourism. The town is surrounded by spectacular bush country, a region that is crisscrossed with flowing rivers and a land of thousands of fish-filled lakes. Ignace is also the home base of Ignace Outposts Limited. On this trip, Choronzey has accepted an invitation from proprietors Brad and Karen Greaves to spend a few days enjoying the bounty of Metionga Lake. Here, limits of walleye and northern pike can be caught right off the dock in front of the cottage. It's a lake that's just made for those who never get tired of catching fish. It's also a lake where Choronzey gets to spend some quality time with an old friend, fishing buddy, author, fishing tackle inventor, and outdoorsman, Dan Gapen. Stay with us as the boys enjoy the treasures of a lake called Metionga.
Dan, over the years, right, how many seminars have you given?
Way over 1,000, I'm sure. Probably thousands.
Thousands? And this is our first walleye, Dan. Look at this.
I just got bit off with a pike, and instead of tying my bait right to my line, I'm going to use a little piece of my secret weapon here.
This is not a bad walleye, Dan.
Well, that's because we're right here at the drop.
You know what? And that's what you said. Get to the drop, right?
Yeah. Actually, they call it a lift or a drop. You know, every entering river has it.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because the current has worn a channel, and when it hits the slower water, it doesn't dig it out anymore, and there you have a drop, a rock drop.
Oh, Dan, look what I got.
Big pike.
A big, and I'm talking a good pike. Now, so what they've got is a wall back here, right? Like
no,
the currents come down? Okay,
but
but
the wall coming this way,
yeah.
but a drop going that way, yeah.
And these big fish just get in here and lie. And you know what I got, Dan?
Yep.
I got a pike with my walleye in his mouth. Where do you see this guy? Look at this. Dan, look at this pike.
Anybody got a net?
Hey, look at this pike, Dan, and he's got my walleye right wrapped in his mouth. Look at this.
I know.
Look at this. And he's got my walleye there. And he's not going to let that walleye go. Has anybody got a net?
You know, if we had a net,
I haven't
my
got the
guide
pike
would
hooked.
have put a net in the boat.
I haven't got the pike hooked. I got the wall. Oh, look. Oh, he's still there, Dan. Look, he's still got it. Gapen, did you see that pike?
I saw that pike.
You know what? That thing was 40 inches long.
Yeah, look at how.
And I don't troll with a walleye. Look at this walleye.
They love walleyes. They pike eat walleyes.
Like, this walleye is beat up, right? And look at the scratches on him.
Yeah. Might as well keep him for lunch because he's going to die anyways.
Die? He's dead.
I know, that pike squashed him.
I don't want to eat him after the pike had him.
Oh, I will.
Will you? You can still eat those things. What had happened, and I said to Dan, hey, I got a nice walleye here, and the next thing, poof, almost took me out of the boat.
That's right.
That fish was over 40 inches.
It was at 40 to 41 inches, I would say. Probably a 19-pound fish.
How often do you get walleye and all of a sudden the pike will come in and smack them like
You know what?
that?
Over the years in fishing up in this country, I've had it happen probably 4 dozen times.
There's one other thing, Dan. I don't know whether it's legal for me to have a walleye on, right? And the pike comes along and grabs it. Can I keep the pike?
I don't see why it wouldn't be, but because it's a natural phenomenon. But maybe the upper echelon biologists will tell you it's not. I don't know. And now our walleye fishing may be a little tough here until these pike get out of here or until we catch them.
I'd like to catch that big one. That was a dandy
Yeah,
fish.
I know how to do it. Yeah, there he is.
Now listen, I've got rubber on, or I've got plastic on, and you've got, what is that, steel?
That's a lead.
Lead?
That's what they call in Europe a pilker.
So you were vertical jigging right under the boat.
Right under the boat. While you were trying to recover from that big pike.
Trying to recover.
I call that a twitch.
So Dan, what is that
twitcher.
actually? Now that type of spoon, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people will see it, and all you're doing is casting out, and you bop it along the bottom, bringing it back to you.
Yeah.
But when you got it underneath, you're just
bouncing it off
twitch.
bottom.
And I think everybody out there has to understand, and this is why I like the super lines. You've got mono on, but I've got one of these twisted, braided, whatever you want to call it. They're super
They're
lines.
good for vertical jigging.
Vertical. You know why? So when you're fishing, Dan, you always want to keep that line tight.
Yeah, you got to keep the tension on your bait, and when you with that fire line, you can set the hook better in deeper water.
Yeah, there's no stretch.
There's no stretch to it, and that's what disadvantage to monofilament.
Let me ask you something. You've been in the fishing business for 50 years?
Yeah, at least more than that, 60.
We've seen changes from one end of the industry to the other, right? But I don't think there's been more changes than in rods. Like we're running graphite rods now.
Yeah.
And you can feel that. Look, you can feel that touch.
The minute that fish touches that bait, you feel it, and with that type of line, you instantly can set the hook in them.
Like, and I hate using this word, but in the old days, right? Let's be honest. We ran fiberglass rods.
Yeah.
And when you ran fiberglass rods, you wouldn't feel half the bites.
No, that's true.
You know?
There's no sensitivity to them.
Remember the good old days out here?
Oh, big changes. Big changes. I mean, we used to get 30-pound salmon and during the spectacular. Now you get 21, 22.
You know, you asked me a question the other day, and you said, why the changes all of a sudden, right?
Right.
And I'm going to be upfront on this issue, okay? In Canada, from one end of the, from the Atlantic to the Pacific, we've got some phenomenal, and I mean some phenomenal biologists out there.
Yeah.
And I've met hundreds of great biologists, but it's just like a bushel of apples. If you get one bad apple, the whole bushel is, shot.
Yeah.
Or at least everything that these biologists have tried to accomplish, one guy can kill it. And I've seen that, pretty well in almost every province or every territory. You got a lot of guys that are really working hard, but one bad guy will kill it for you. And it's tough to, it's tough to beat.
Yeah.
You look what's happening in Owen Sound. We had a great fishery. We don't have a fishery anymore. We had a great fishery down on Lake Ontario. We don't have that great fishery anymore, no matter what anybody says. And we've got problems like that in every province. And all I'm saying is, I think that we have to get these biologists together and get them thinking fishing, and put their priorities in the right order. And that means, listen, the Ministry of Natural Resources works for us. We don't work for them. We pay their salaries. Their job is to make sure that there's going to be fish on the end of our fishing lines.
As long as they get their agenda from the people that are paying them.
Because I honestly think a lot of times we know more than the ministry people because we're out on the water all the time.
Going Fishing returns with more walleye action on Lake Metionga.
Gapen,
Yeah.
what are you doing up there? You're playing
I'm
around with
re-rigging.
that
I
Monel line?
got bit off again.
What do you call that stuff you're putting on there?
That's a soft Monel. It's only 10 pounds, but it keeps the pike from biting me off, and I didn't have it before.
Dan, I'll tell you what we should tell people. Your Monel, it's almost, it's wire, right? But what
It's
type
wire.
of wire? Like, what is Monel?
Monel is a wire.
It's a soft wire?
Very soft wire. You can tie knots in it just like you do a...
I got another pike! Oh! Another pike. Yeah, I still got the walleye, but this pike came up. You know what? This is crazy. This is the second time that we've been bringing walleye up, and a pike comes up and hits it. Now again, tell me exactly what Monel is.
Monel is a soft, pliable wire. This is only 10 pounds, but the pike can't cut it with their teeth like they can monofilament or even some of the hard braid lines.
Yeah.
They won't cut this, and this is why I'm putting it on. And it's real supple. You can jig with it and it doesn't interfere with the action of your jig.
Now this could be a real tip for anybody out there, because I saw Dan yesterday working this fine wire. And I haven't seen that in, honest to God, Dan, from where I sit from 10 years, right?
I can roll it back on itself and make a loop, and it, you know, that I tie it to the line and then loop it same place down here and just spin it and tie it to the jig.
That walleye, Dan,
got hit by another pike.
Right at the top on the surface. Now, I don't know whether we're going to get this on camera, but what was it, 2 minutes ago, 3 minutes ago?
Oh, about 5 minutes ago, yeah.
Oh, you got to disagree with me?
Yeah, a little bit, once in a while.
5 minutes ago. I brought a walleye in about 3/4 that size, and I had a 40-inch pike rabbit, and it almost knocked me out of the boat. I never did get the fish, though.
He doesn't have good balance, folks.
Gapen, what you got that great, big, monstrous lure on there for?
Well, you've been enticing all the pike in here, so I'm going to see if I can catch a pike on a walleye-looking pike.
Ah, look what I got here, Dan. Ah, watch it.
That's pike, my pike.
As fast as I catch a walleye, I get a pike nailing it. Dan, I'll tell you what, this is neat. I'm gonna let this guy go before another pike nails him. But what we did was we said, we'll have shore lunch, right? And we'll go out and fish. And we decided we were gonna come back out and fish for, maybe an hour before it gets dark. Give me that gulp back, give me that gulp back. The very first walleye I caught, a pike around 40, 45 inches, nailed it sideways. And we had it on for 10 minutes, right? Couldn't catch it.
Yeah, you're right.
The next walleye I caught, we have another pike hit it. So Dan says, I'm gonna take off my jigs. And what do you call that thing?
That's a Polish plug.
It's a Polish plug. And that
Made in Poland.
It's made in Poland, and we're saying the Polish plug because we're not gonna go with trademark names. But Dan brings these plugs in, and he says, let's see if we can catch some pike.
And now for the Montana's Cookhouse tip of the week. Heading to bush country for walleye, small spinners in sizes 2 and 3, 3 and 4 inch plastic grubs attached to 1/8 to 1/2 ounce jigs, 2-inch jigging wobblers, and a handful of weight-forward spinners should meet all your fishing needs.
Is it a walleye, a pike, or a combo?
I don't know, but I'll tell you what, I'm worried that if I get another walleye, I'm gonna get a pike. Oh, don't tell me. You know what may have happened? I may have another. Guess what?
Combo.
I got another pike,
Combo.
I think. I could be wrong, but I think I've got another pike on here. So you got this. Let's
On
see.
your walleye?
I got another pike on my walleye. Dan,
Let's show them how vicious these pike are here in this lake. What's the name of this
where
lake?
can you go? That is 7 walleye, right? Where I've had pike hit it 7 times.
I've never seen him get so excited. He's fishing combos. Come on,
What
bring
would
him in
you
here.
do?
Bring him in here.
What do you mean, bring him in? I don't
That
have
may
him
be
by
the
the hook.
40-incher.
He's eating my walleye. That's 7 times in a row.
I know.
And what did you say? It's legal for you? Why?
Because I'm part Indian. I can do anything I want.
In this country, you can.
Yeah, that's true.
Dan, I can't believe this. This is
Bring
7
that fish
walleye.
up.
What do you mean, bring the fish up? You tell the fish to come up.
Come up, fish.
I can't believe this. I may have him hooked this time. I don't know.
No, you don't.
What do you mean? How do you know? He's down there 20 feet. How do you know whether I got him hooked or not?
I can tell. It's
Dan,
my Indian instincts.
in your Indian instincts, let me tell you something. Have you ever seen anybody catch 7 walleye and have 7 pike come and grab it?
No, you are one of a kind, I must admit.
Look at this. He's got it. Oh, you
that's
know
a
what's
big
happened
one.
now? That's a big one.
Yeah, now bring him over here.
What do you mean, bring him over? He threw that. You know what?
No, you know what?
He threw the walleye.
No, you got him hooked, legal.
Huh? What do you mean legally?
Yeah.
Don't tell me legally. When
He's
I
hooked
threw
in
that,
the side of the
listen.
mouth. Look at here.
Yeah, but I know I can see that. I'm not blind. But let me tell you something. I threw that jig and minnow out there, right? And I had a walleye on, and it hit it
No,
twice.
You caught the
Oh,
pike
so it's
legally.
legal now?
It's legal. Caught in the edge of the mouth right there. Look at that.
Yeah,
It's
but
caught
let's
right
be
in the
honest.
corner.
Now, I don't care. I cast it out 5 or 6 times, and 5 or 6 times I got a walleye, right? And every time I got a walleye, I got a pike on.
Well,
And he grabbed
if he had, it's hooked in
You
the...
saw him grab the pike.
I
What
want
are
you,
you talking
Department
about?
of Natural Resources, to see this. It's caught right here in the corner of the mouth.
Yeah, but we know. Now, let me hold this fish.
Okay.
We know. I got him here.
Well, I've got to get...
Well, I'll get that.
I got to get that hook out
Okay.
with that gulp.
I'll tell you
Gulp
what.
the gulp.
I'll tell you what. We saw the walleye, right? Grab the lure.
I didn't see any walleye.
Come on, that's 5 times in a row, and you know it as well as I know it.
I didn't see
5
any
times in a
walleye.
row, we saw the walleye, and Dan says, well, you can keep. I don't know whether it's legal. I don't care. I'm part Indian. I can do what I want.
Yeah.
Listen to me, buddy. Is that something phenomenal or what? 5 times in a row.
That's phenomenal. Put that poor fish back.
Oh, I'll put him back.
Put it back.
I've never been anywhere in my life where I've caught 5 walleye and have 5 pike come up and grab it right in a row.
Actually, if you knew about it, folks, it was 6 walleyes, he claims, but I said that fish, he got caught in the corner of the mouth, so there was no walleye.
You saw the walleye. What happens
Oh,
was
no.
the walleye was
when
grabbed
you-
by
when you
the
go to
pike.
court-
No. The walleye was grabbed by the pike.
When you go to court,
The
I'll
walleye was
testify that
grabbed-
there was no walleye.
I don't care if you're part native or not. This doesn't get, you're not going to get anywhere away on this. This guy's ready to go. The
Let the
walleye,
poor thing go.
the walleye was grabbed by the pike.
Oh.
The
walleye
it
was
spit
grabbed by-
the walleye out. It got the hook in its mouth, and I caught the pike.
Folks, you're looking at a couple of old duffers arguing over something they don't know anything about.
All I'm going to say is I've never been anywhere in Canada with 6 walleye getting caught by 6 pike. But I don't need the guy behind me saying, and I'm going, I don't know whether this is legal, because I'm using walleye for bait almost. Don't worry about it. I've got some Indian in me. We're going to be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saying, buddy, you are my hero. We've had a lot of fun the last 3 or 4 days.
Oh, we sure have.
I'm going to do a real quick tackle talk. This guy is an inventor in the tackle industry, and we've been around more years than we want to remember. But Dan, I'm going to call this the bait walker, right?
Yeah, that's a bait walker.
Okay, you invented that. What's
It was
it do?
the original walking sinker.
Okay, what's it do?
Well, one of the things, it walks bottom,
Yep.
only touches 3% of the sigger. You put your line out behind with your minnow, or in this case, a twister tail, and then this is the line going up to the rod. It's snag-free.
Yeah.
It's about 85% snag-free on natural rock.
And it's inexpensive. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
they're
great
not.
way, and you save lures. Now let's discuss something else, and this is one reason why I wanted Dan to sit down with me. I worked at Dominion Foundries or DeFasco back a few years ago, more than a few years ago. I'll be honest. Okay, say 30 years, 35 years ago. I worked at Dominion
Okay.
Foundries. There was a rumor around, we got the secret walleye lure. And again, I'm not paid by these companies, but what was the secret walleye lure? It was that 7S Rapella. Right?
Rapella, that came in from Finland.
In those days, all the best lures came from Europe. Okay, when the Rapella came out, and I don't want to name names with these companies, but a lot of American companies, for the most part, started imitating the Rapella or the Finnish lure. Right? 15 years goes by, and it seemed like everything was being made in the Orient. Okay.
Yeah, everything actually still is.
And it's because it's low price, the cost of in labor over there and everything else. But then Dan come along and said, hey, it started in Europe. It went to the United States. It went to the Orient. Why not bring the best stuff back, and we'll go back to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And I can say this. What is that, a Pollock lure?
Yeah, that's a Pollock lure. That's a Polish
minnow.
perch.
Polish perch? But because I'm married to a Pollock, I can call it the Pollock perch. How's that?
Why not?
But the secret is, all of these lures now are being made back in Europe. You've got, what's this?
That's a needlefish.
Uh-huh.
Look at the finishes on these. This is a red and white. Red and white's still one of the hot colors.
That's what you were telling me the
Everybody's
other
quit
day.
using it. Yeah, but red and white is still one of the hot colors. So that's what we used for years. Nothing but a red and white spoon.
Well, look, and the finishes are phenomenal. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
So more than 50 years ago, You made the bait walker, right?
That's correct.
And you brought, we're seeing this circle go around, you know?
we're going around.
Europe, United States, the Orient, you're bringing it back. And now you've got the Pollock's perch. And I can say Pollock because I'm married to a Pollock.
There you go.
But it really is the Polish perch. Let's go and eat.
Going Fishing returns with the Napoleon Barbecue's Shore Lunch.
2 green logs and a hot fire between them, nice dry timber between them. The green logs support the frying pan. And we're gonna use,
You like your Crisco?
I love it for fish, yeah.
How come you put me downwind of the fire?
Well, I did that purposely. I bet you that grease is hot enough already.
Okay, put them in.
I can't find, who fillet? You fillet these fish?
I didn't fillet them, you filleted them.
No, this is not my fillet. Look at that thing. It's all bent up like a dead wiener. Skin down, skin side down. Oh yeah, here's a good one. Look at that. Look at that, Darryl. Oh, that's old smoke in the face over there. Look at that. That's already, look how nice and brown that is. Oh, look at there.
Looks good, Mr. Gapen. That is real pretty, but I've got to get a prettier person over here. Gapen, get your butt over here.
Yeah, don't wait for me. I gotta have some of this fish too.
My shore lunch man.
I cooked the shore lunch. You get to be the hero.
I don't know whether you're going to see all that we did last night, but this guy would never be a United Nations ambassador. You've got me in trouble with every nationality in the world.
I'm a what do you call it? I'm inbred.
You're inbred. You've got, now what native band?
Ojibwe.
And you got some French Canadian in you,
French Canadian.
right?
Not a lot.
Just a little bit.
English, little Scotch, little Pennsylvania Dutch.
Now again, Gapen is a legend, and you may have seen and heard some stuff on the show that we usually don't talk about on the show, but when 2 guys get together like us, we got to talk about it.
2 old guys.
Dan and I were talking real quick. They're doing one heck of a job up here in northwestern Ontario.
Yeah,
The
I heard
biologists
that.
are really working good. And again, I've got a lot of friends that are biologists, but some are really screwing things up, especially down the Great Lakes. And what did you say?
I said some biologists need psychologists.
You know, there's a great number of great biologists out there, but there are some screwballs. Can I try some walleye?
You betcha.
Never overcook it. Listen, if you get the opportunity, don't pass up the chance to get up to Ignace Outposts, right? Northwestern Ontario, it's phenomenal. Let's go for it.
Go sit down.
For more information on today's fishing location and other going fishing destinations, visit www.goingfishingtv.com. Going Fishing with Darryl Choronzey has been brought to you in part by Yamaha, Abu Garcia, Montana's Cookhouse, and Berkeley.
Going fishing.
Going Fishing would like to thank the following fine sponsors.
Baby smiling my way.